on the CLG sub squad like last year, and he had actually had really strong early game performances. Lorlo, I know we talked about him a lot. He's my favorite player to talk about on CLG Black. He was so good at carry top laners. Like, we've seen Riven in competitive a few times, and I've always wanted him to play the champion. He refuses to. He said it just doesn't work. We try it in scrims and it's no good, but I refuse to believe that. I'm just stubborn.
Played a Riven mid when I ran into him in solo queue. He crushed that game.
Well, yeah, he's way better than you.
Well, no, he was on my team. I helped him out. Jungled for him.
Great. He's still way better than you in League of Legends. As is everyone who's in this game, by the way, compared to me as well. So, not exactly a big point to talk about.
You'd be
either
playing
way.
it, though.
No, I prefer casting. It's much more glamorous. I get to wear fancy suits and stuff. It's great.
You got your on-stage play for the year.
That's true, and I killed the Faker Slayer, so we're good to go. I got everything I needed out of the way. Either way, we are into champs like CLG Black versus Cloud9 Tempest. Best of 3. The winner joins the North American Challenger Series Summer Split here right away. Gragas, Sivir, Hecarim, the bans from CLG Black. Alistar, Kalista, the bans from Cloud9 Tempest.
And the loser goes on to play Magnetic in the 3rd place match and ends up next week.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Rise, also a ban to come through, so Echo is left up. Depending on the scouting reports, we may or may not see him played, but we did see him banned by Misfits in the last series, so clearly there is some respect here.
Yeah, Echo does have a really good time against poke champions, very squishy champions. Hard to get in with his, or easy to get in with his blink and his tumble, and then easy to get out after assassinating somebody. So
that's true.
It was a good pickup there if Virus was in the mind for them. So we're gonna have to see what comes out here first. Only one jungle ban on the Gragas, so Rek'Sai's still up. There's still the Sejuani available, the Sivir, Hecarim, so they're really just trying to get rid of. So fun fact here is LoD. All 4 games that they're 4-0 are all 4 Sivir games.
Yeah.
Only played Sivir in the Challenger qualifiers. They're trying to see what else he has, but the thing is everybody bans Ashe against him and Kalista. So they ban their own Kalista, so Ashe is still on the table, and that's the other pickup that LoD usually goes for.
Well, he's got a chance to pick it up right now then. He's got first round on the red side. First pick Thresh came through for CLG Black. He really wants to make sure they do get the Thresh in for iKennyU, with 2 of the supports already banned away, or 1 of the supports already banned away, I should say.
So anything I know about iKennyU, regardless of what role he's playing, top, jungle, whatever, he wants to be a playmaker.
Yeah.
And he's that big solo Q star, so on the support, he still wants to have initiation power and playmaking potential. So the Thresh pickup very early on for him with Alistar off the table is good.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was a Kha'Zix top player. Like, that completely sums up what kind of player iKennyU is. The guy played a lot of Kha'Zix top. So here we go. Maokai and Rex I picked up for C9T. Just really strong picks we normally see. Defensive tank for a solo. Hard gets the only remaining common early game jungler here with Gragas off the table, so we might see some very early pressure. Keep in mind, you've now got double crowd control if there are top lane ganks.
That's true. Very, very easy to get in on there. Nar is still available. They still have Hecarim banned off the table. So I would assume it would be a Nar pickup here, or at least a Rumble to go against the tree. Rumble, pretty gankable. Also,
yeah,
both these champions are very good at locking up Nar during his jump, so.
And we'll see what ends up happening here in this one. Yeah, Nar can backfire pretty hard with champions like this. Move blocks can fight other move blocks. Ashe comes through, though. Scar locks it in for Frost here. I'm really glad we have a fitting name for an Ashe player here in this one. Think Card gonna get Sejuani, so the top tier list of junglers seems to come through in this game, and team fight initiation is definitely here.
Yep, the Ashe taken away so that LoD doesn't pick it up because they ran a composition around that Cloud9 Tempest did. That was very scary to play against, and Thinkard pretty much picking up the other jungler. Nunu's still on the table, but like Nunu Ashe is okay.
It's not great.
It's not that great, exactly. But another thing here is actually Solo and Frost used to be teammates on Zenith. They both played an expansion tournament and lost to Final 5. So they have some history with each other here. Well, speaking of history, Scar versus Jinte.
Yeah.
I think these are going to be the last things to get locked in here because you want that counter pick very early on. But like you said, a lot of lockup for CLG Black. With Cloud9 Tempest, same story. Lots of lockup here.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about range lockup, though, and again, I'm going to reiterate what I said from the last game, but I like ranged damage dealers for the rest of CLG Black to capitalize. Someone who can just engage off the engage tools and deal some damage. We'll see if that ends up happening. Cloud9 Tempest playing more for their back line, right? A tank line to soak up damage, a Jinx in the back line for LoD to clean up team fights from there. We do need a secondary damage dealer on Cloud9 Tempest, something big in the mid lane. But both these teams, I think, can be set up to have very strong team fight powers. Yeah,
LoD, last time I really saw him play Jinx was in the Alpha Draft tournament. He got a pentakill like 20 minutes in the game because they ran a Nunu and a Janna with it, and they just ran him all around the map. So LoD was a turret-taking machine. They're not going to have either of those champions with the early lock-in of the Rek'Sai and the Nautilus, but Sheep, once again, has a playmaking support. Pretty much the last one left aside from Annie, but they take the Alistar, they take the Thresh away, so he's left with the Nautilus. But he's no stranger to it. He's played Nautilus twice.
Oh, yeah.
And he's had 2 other games of Alistar, so pretty good rate. Pretty good rate.
Plays
on
melee
farm.
champions,
Yeah.
engages fights a lot. Not a big surprise that Sheep's going to be doing that kind of stuff. We do see 2 more ranged damage dealers come through as we get the mid lane Varus. Again, Skara picks it as the blind pick mid laner. The Rumble top for Lurlo, I think it's a good choice. And Zigspid comes in for Jinte here. So we do have a good secondary damage dealer. We got a ton of wave clear on Cloud and Tempest as well. But CLB do have some ranged damage to go with the ranged engage tools.
Yeah, CLB's composition, they have engaged, they have a lot of laydown in the team fight, they have some poke. So
good wave clear too with Varus Rumble.
Exactly.
Good enough anyway.
Good wave clear here. C9T, very team fight oriented. They want to play around this Jinx who can snowball, and they want to have the wave clear of Jinte to kind of just make sure the game doesn't just fall around them before they get to that point where Lod can go crazy. So I actually like the pickup of the Varus very early on from Skara.
Forever in the League of Legends scene, and you know, one of the newfangled things is this mid lane Varus, and he's going to be happy to learn that too and keep his dominance going.
He's been wanting to test his mettle. He comes back to Challenger after coaching CLG. Goes to their B squad, the CLG Black. So obviously still in the organization.
Yeah, but he says he wants to go back to being a player. His scrims with CLB worked out quite well, and the guy got, you know, picked up full time for the gig. And you just got to see how these players go. Old LCS players. They'll make a name back for themselves in Challenger. Alex Hitch has done it. He requalified. Crumb's the same.
Jinte takes a huge chunk of his life there off those early auto attack trades from Skara. Wasn't really a trade, he kind of mugged him.
Yep.
Solo on the wrong side of the map though. Solo, they know Solo is here. I don't think they're going to let him back. He's on the complete opposite side of the map.
His health is going to get so low going through this turret here. I don't know if anyone's going to get in range, though. He might get the execute. Just depends if he can get away from Kenny.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to get it. XP did go over. I imagine Kenny must have gotten half a level on this Thresh.
Half a level. So goodbye, Kenny, to at least stay in range. Solo gets his ward down, doesn't end up giving over first blood, though. So the best of a bad situation. He couldn't even TP out of that because of the threat of a hook from Kenny.
Even if he leveled up a skill blindly, there's still a 2/3 chance he picks something with crowd control. Not that you would go
slam his
level
keyboard,
one,
just blah.
And one of them's probably going to work. Just in case.
Hashtag Thresh things.
The ult wouldn't have, but he's not level 6, so it's fine. Why isn't my flash stunning you? Wrong hotkey.
Oh, man.
Alright, so it's going to be a leash here for Hard. Solo is going to stay on the bot side of the map. They realize that actually CLB have lane swapped this one. Sheep already building a freeze himself, though. Does it quite well, and we do have a freeze on both sides here. It's a dual lane for the C9T bot lane, but it's Kenny right now running around with CLB triple jungling. So I actually really hope, by the way, since we're on 5.10, I think this mastery was good even in 5.9, but the deep utility tree mastery, where you gain experience for being near a higher level champion. After the very first camp, the jungler's level 2. Kenny can get so much experience just by following this guy around the map. Like, you would actually get a lot of XP just triple jungling and not soaking XP.
A level 2 Nautilus comes to mind. I don't know where I've seen that before, though.
Maybe 30 minutes ago in the a very one-sided Challenger qualifier game. Well, Sheep, Solo, and Hard all together, they have gone to the triple jungle themselves, and in fact, looks like these teams have been able to jungle very safely. They jungled on their side of the map near their dual lane. Respect was given on both sides. They managed to take the other major camp near their dual lane as well. Looks like both these jungles will be fully cleared out. And in both these cases, the team can 4-man that lone outer turret.
Yep, they're gonna go try to 4-man it. The wave got split right there by oh man, that's a situation where you're sitting there and you're going, wait, my team split the wave, and the AD carry's like, that was all my farm.
Yep. Well, but no. Jinx got taxed. Actually, not too badly. She's going to be okay with this one. Cannon minion was taking some of these minions. And Jinx, of course, one of the better turret killers, and the rest of the team AoEing it as much as possible. Lob will be taking some of these caster minions away for himself, using Zap and whatnot, and that will be the bottom turret going down. Of course, Jinx, one of the very best at doing this, and they're going to even try to bounce the wave. Looks like this will happen successfully. One last turret shot, and Lob will build the freeze for a secondary lane. Look, he even makes sure it really does get frozen.
Let the caster minions walk up.
And
Oh,
they actually go for the dragon as well.
You got to drop it inside of the brush.
If you wanted to run towards dragon, so they slightly screw up the freeze here. C9T going to go for dragon as well. Lorlo managed to take the turret part of this, but looks like CLG Black will eventually get the top lane turret themselves. Of course, Ashe not quite as good at this as Jinx.
No!
Kenny took some local gold. The freeze is going to be fine because there's still a caster remaining on this side.
It's still good.
And that'll build a freeze. So overall, we split roughly equally across the board. Even the farm is almost the same, but there is a dragon advantage to C9T, and we'll see where the lanes end up going.
Yeah, and this mid lane is pretty much a wash. Scarra versus Jinte. Nobody really getting the upper hand just yet. It's down to those consumables. Scarra has slightly more in his inventory. I know, it's those tiny battles. It's trench warfare here with all these consumables.
Until you invent flamethrowers, then you completely defeat trench warfare. You'd like me to tell you why?
Sure.
So, back in the day, trench warfare, you would kind of line up along, like against the trench, and you'd have a really hard time getting through one trench, then the next, then the next. People realized that if you concentrate your forces on one side of the trench, and just go for that little part of the defending army, you'd get into the trench. And then flamethrowers can go around corners. Because fire spreads, right? It just eats up oxygen. And so you could use a flamethrower to kill enemy soldiers inside their trench, and Lot's gonna die here.
Thinking of getting killed in your trench.
Flamethrowers afoot as well, but the trade kill comes in as Solo has joined. Lorlo a bit low. 1-for-1 all the same, and CLB still wanted to push through on this.
Don't you just love it when your tangents end up being relevant?
That was on purpose, bro.
Kenny with the hook.
Oh! He expected the juke, but didn't happen here. Bot lane turret still taking some damage. Ashe doing plenty of damage with her flurries.
They are going to trade turrets again, though. You can see multiple members from Cloud9 Tempest
Without
actually on
Jinx,
the
it'll be
top
hard,
side of the
though.
map, though.
They only do so much damage with a support and a tank jungler, so slowly but surely they're making progress. But yeah, C9T unperturbed over on this side, and there's actually more experience going to Cloud9 Tempest. They're getting XP from all 3 waves, and only just now had CLB sent someone back to the top lane to get some. Oh, good hook, good play. Solo very hurt, forced to flash out. Oh, and Kenny got rooted. He's gonna almost die. Forced to use Summoner Heal to stay alive. I think he would have survived anyway. Oh man, flashes. Jeez.
Took it anyway when he flashed. Just
took less damage by being in the outer ring at least.
It's true, exactly. That's how Ziggs Bomb works. You want to be on those outer edges, not that center.
Or not at all.
That would definitely help.
But looks like the siege is going to work in this bot lane. CLB keeping 3 down there. Not enough defense available. Cloud9 Tempest left Nautilus and Rek'Sai in the top lane. And CLB once again will try to bounce this. Nah, it won't be a bounce. I think that wave's going to be too injured.
So, CLG Black getting the better of the lane swap here. I mean, if there's anything that CLG Prime really does well, it's those lane swaps when they get ahead. I mean, Scar was coaching them for a while. Maybe he's bringing that to this team. We'll see.
We will see what happens. We are in a pretty close game, though. Coach Scarra, mid laner Scarra.
Put me in, coach, says the coach.
And he did it. All right. Blue buff, Smite, C9T does take away the blue away from CLG Black. It's actually quite a good steal, even though you're not going to use it much as Rek'Sai. Denying it from Varus is a big deal. Without blue, you can Ubis that champion.
Well, especially since this mid lane, everybody's in this lane swap situation still. If you take that blue buff away from Scarra, he's not going to have wave clear. People end up showing mid, shoving him out. He'll end up out of mana before Jinte is, if you hand that one over to Jinte, who already has the chalice completed.
It's true. Interesting that he actually went for the magic resist giving item here.
Oh, Sheep.
He's facing Varus. Nice root on the Frost. He's still going to survive this one. There's just not enough damage to be dealt. And not enough crowd control to land either, so he's going to be okay. But we have gone back to the 2-on-2 lanes. Ashe invested in an Avarice Blade. Looks like being involved in getting a kill and being involved in an extra turret kill means he's got just more gold to spend, and he's using that to invest in the Avarice Blade.
This happens a lot in lane swaps. You'll see people go for that early Avarice Blade because they know they won't be seeing combat for a while. It's actually harder to punish than you would think because they purchased the Avarice Blade. You have to save up for the BF sword and then punish them for it. But by that point,
they make up some of the money.
Exactly.
You know? It's interesting. It's a way of thinking about it because, of course, you could have held on and gotten the earlier BF buy and chose to be a bully, but realistically as Ashe, you're not looking for that very much, and it's going to take a while for Jinx to be a huge threat in her own right anyway, so a lot of room for CLB to work with. Just to specify, by the way, First Blood itself did go to Cloud9 Tempest. That money all went to Solo here. And CLB, they're going to have a hard time facing that one-on-one up top lane. Solo just hit level 6. He's up double the CS of Lorlo, and we're not even seeing Rumble show up to that lane yet.
Yeah, Lorlo is just being in attendance in the mid lane. There's the arrow. Nothing.
Oh, hit the inhibitor!
Stunned it. Got him.
That inhib's not moving for a long time, I'm going to say. Crossmap arrow, good luck.
Yeah, you should nerf Ashe. It lasts too long on that inhibitor.
Scar's starting to take poke, though, himself. Jinte going towards that Athene's Lorlo does finally get a junk wave under his turret. He's going to catch up a little bit in farm, but he is still quite a bit behind. Live goes for the ulti on towards Scar. Oh my word!
Nobody blocked it for him.
Orc Ultimate was coming. He had flash and heal. He just didn't see it.
Kenny could have thrown him a lantern too. Yeah, didn't
well,
see it
it's
coming.
going to give a lot of time for mid lane to get knocked down. C9T gonna get their second turn of this game, and they put a pretty sizable amount of gold on their roster now. Tied in turrets, but up 1,200 gold.
And when they end up getting this Jinx on Laud, he always likes to get that outer ring of turrets as fast as possible, plays the demolitionist role, and the team really just falls around him, whether they have the new Janna composition or whether it's this composition with the wave clearer to assist him.
Interesting choice by C19. Notice that Hard has already set up a tunnel exit in case he gets jumped on and has to get away from Dragon. Kind of cute there, I suppose, but it's going to be Dragon rush down. No one from CLB is ready to go for this one. They had the timer based on the fact that they saw people get Dragon buff when it was killed last time, but no one is around to defend. C9T up 2 dragons and 1,000 gold.
It's off those turret takes and off that kill, they ended up transitioning into that. Really good play there by Laud. He's been involved in every kill and every turret take so far.
It's always good to be Jinx in that case. To me, she is the best AD carry if you are ahead or just late game, and right now she is ahead. So she's got all kinds of damage to deal. Just needs to multiply all of her base damages, and when she gets there, she does wonderful things. And of course, we are on 5.10. The Jinx changes have been in for a while, where she doesn't have as much attack speed early on in the game, but it seems like Laud is happy to play this champion anyway. One of the very few Jinxes we have seen since 5.10.
Yeah, she's still extremely strong at what she does.
Just less of a crazy turret demolitionist, but it doesn't seem to matter.
Yep. And then it's all better late game. But even then, you mostly use rockets late game anyway.
Yeah.
You end up using the
You're right. It is a slight advantage to minigun at 17 and 18. And we will see that Frost pushing up the bot lane pretty heavily. Still no BF sword on him, so he doesn't do that much damage. And every second no dives will happen.
They're rotating between bot and mid and using the Thresh Lantern to just make these rotations very quick. so that they can siege down these turrets and try to get these rotations down.
And it's working. They've got ThinkCard on the backside. It's not going to be easy for Gente to defend this. Thankfully, there's enough wave to drop the minion wave, but the turrets are taking damage. If that weren't Ziggs, that'd be a dead turret.
Is that 2 for 2 for missed arrows?
No, it's 2 for 2 hitting the inhibitor, dude.
Did you hit the inhibitor again? Ooh.
Maybe. I actually don't know. I'm going to assume it did, and you guys can't correct me, because unless you're watching on YouTube, you're not going to rewind. Either way, though,
I really hope our observers just do a replay
of where the arrow goes.
I really hope so.
I'll just claim it was a replay from a different game.
But the BF sword finally coming out for
Yeah.
Frost. Although he's missed those arrows, he hasn't missed the mark in CS, and he's a little bit ahead of Vlad in that department.
He's on 180 gold from the average played right now, so we can track that investment as time goes on. There it is. Hits that turret.
Oh, it got the turret.
Oh!
Oh!
That counts. That would have hit the hitbox. I'm saying it counts.
I don't know. Inhibitor hitboxes are kind of snug, though. You have to, like, walk up to it sometimes.
The Ashe hitbox is, like, that's basically a dark binding, man.
All right. You know, I will give you that one. He is 2 for 2 on hitting the inhibitor.
Yeah. Let's see. The producer in the ear says 1 for 2, but I don't agree with you, man. That was definitely a hit. Aiden agrees.
I'll
the ones made to be on camera.
Freak this time.
I appreciate that. Right now, Cloud and Tempest, though, they are sitting on this small gold lead. Solo continues to capitalize on that advantage he had top lane. The top lane turret went down from his wave pushing. CLB have yet to make really good inroads with this Varus siege, largely due to Gente's Ziggs. He's been able to clear these things away rather cleanly and not get punished. Ooh, man. Okay, never mind.
Punished. Yeah, Scar got himself that blue buff finally. So this is just going to be an onslaught of arrows. And with poke champions, it always comes down to dodge. Just dodge as much as possible. But you can't... That's the thing. The more arrows you get out, the more chances that you have to hit.
Yep.
It gets ridiculous over time, because if you just make one error and you take that arrow off of Varus, you take a huge chunk of life. And the only thing to really cover that is potions and some type of restore.
Oh, man, the melee range stun can't quite land the hook in time, though. Good dodge in the zap. CLB get out, but they get Laud's flash for ThinkCard's ulti. Cooldown advantage for CLB, but that's an important spell, so they might have to wait a while for the next engage. You know, the blue team's comp is one that I would expect from the KT organization last year. A lot of arrows.
You know what's funny is you have
My
this,
jokes.
You have this tone when you're gonna tell a joke, and it's absolutely hilarious because I'm like, this is gonna be a joke. This is gonna be a joke. This is gonna be a joke. I know it. You're like, you know what's funny?
I also started with, you know what's funny.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny?
That's an obvious tell. That's not even tone of voice. That's just words.
But your voice does this thing where you're like even when we're just talking about something, you're like, yeah, and that item is pretty funny. And it's just like, oh, I get it now. It's like, yeah, K2 organization would have liked this team. They got a lot of arrows. Like, every time, without fail. One day,
They're like the Invictus Gaming lineup. A lot of KT arrows run Invictus Gaming. That's the joke.
Oh, now, yes. Oh man, I thought this was gonna be a great day too.
It is a great day.
Like, puns are down to him. No, all right, you know what?
I made cross-regional professional puns.
It is subjective. Yes, it actually was pretty good. I commend you on your knowledge of the. Oh, it hit.
All right, nothing. Hit the blue buff. He's hit major objectives every time.
I think the hipper is worth a little bit more than a blue buff.
That's what you ask. Blue buff's worth more gold.
Drew?
Yep. Oh, man. Solo by himself. Chunked pretty low. Scar does not quite have the damage or CDR to get any more follow-up damage onto him. Blue buff does go safely to Jinte despite skill. That's a two-man stun cleansed out. Jinte immediately retreats.
Oh, they use the TP to Lorlo, but they are going to have the dragon timer, so that's going to be CLG Black being able to take this dragon right afterwards. There might be a fight, but Scar's going to be in attendance.
Thinks he'll be missing 2 big ults though.
Exactly. Here comes the TP though.
Comes in Roots. I can't use Zigzult comes across. So does the Equalizer, and Scar is killed off Sheep. But here's some more damage. Laud is playing Jinx. That means damage. Solo picks off Think Card. Scara flashes away. It's a 2-for-1. Zap lands, meaning Scara is gonna get hit up and killed. Double kill on that one, and now Frost running for his life. He's stuck in the brush. Laud could lose the fight. Doesn't dodge the zap.
The crits. The kill. Oh, just having that IE completed.
Zap, I think he might have won it, but
Laud getting those crits in that fight and coming up huge off the AoE crits. Every time they run a composition that revolves around Laud's Jinx, he always seems to come up big. C9T, like, and even thinking back to Laud when he was on LoL Pro, it was always the Laud show. Whether he was AD carry, when he swapped to mid, he still had really good performances. And now back on AD carry, his home role with a team formed around him, he's still able to perform, and it's absolutely incredible to watch this player.
That 3-man crit for 340 damage is like, that's the team fight right there.
Yeah.
That did like as much as the Zigzult he did.
Yeah, basically he's just one shot did almost 900 damage.
Yeah. I mean, he auto-attacked a Zigzult, essentially. So yeah, here Frost, oh, yeah, he was in the middle of winding up an auto-attack, so he didn't cancel it to dodge the zap, and he also guessed wrong in the dodge direction, but Cloud9 Tempest now 3,000 gold ahead, 3 dragons to nothing, and now the movement speed even helps the rotational play.
Exactly, they didn't even get the dragon off of that on the CLG Black side. CLG, they did have a good early game with the turret taking and those advantages there, but C9T, they've come back, and that's the thing. You make one mistake versus a Jinx, you're gonna get punished really hard for it.
Ooh, that was nice. Oh, Think Card couldn't even get out of it. Gets a Zigzult to his face, and a lot of damage comes through from C9T. Ulti again, Laud finds a way to take a kill. 1-for-0.
I think Laud, every one of his ultimates have actually hit players.
Yeah. Well, you can't stun inhibitors.
What? Can't stun or can't
stun? I mean, like, why would you want to Jinx ult an inhibitor? Wait, I'm backwards. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on. You know what? We're just gonna forget I said anything. And hard steals the blue buff. Wow, change of pace here in this one. C9T
once again takes away from Scara. Make sure that they don't have that poke pattern to fall back on. You can see he desperately needed that blue buff to continue the siege situation.
Yeah. Well, as Mana Moon ticks on, he's gonna have more and more mana to pull from, and of course mana regen scales up with level, so Scar's gonna have, even if he can't get blue buffs, the whole like siege power of the champion will at least increase. But you're right, not having blue, you can see the mana pool he's got, it's quite small. He can't stay out forever. Jinte, he's got the Athenes and he feels fine.
Yeah, you really want that extra CDR and the mana regen on him. It just makes that champion operate. Yeah, he's saying this is how it's done. This is how you global. Picks up that kill for himself.
Rumble did absolutely nothing.
Here's an ulti. Yay. It didn't do a whole lot. Spoiler.
Well, I mean, it already happened. It doesn't really count as a spoiler alert. We all watched it.
I mean, what if somebody watches the VOD and they go straight to this point?
That would be really kind of silly.
Well, I mean, sometimes you misclick.
But, I mean, the point of a spoiler is to tell someone what they're gonna be watching before they see it. Right.
People tell me spoiler alert.
Like, spoiler alert, Scar's gonna cue this wave.
Is he? Is he? But he queued the previous wave.
2, 1, release.
Oh!
You saw it. You saw it. That arrow showed up. Sorry, observers.
Oh,
As good as me.
Our observers, I love it when they try to wreck you like that.
And they just can't. Yeah, hide that one.
Oh,
532 damage crit. Laud going for the Phantom Dancer. Frost is going for the Static Shiv on Ashe. I've seen a lot of guys go Youmu's. I'm not a personal fan of the item, but it gives you this like 6-second power spike of being pretty crazy. Either way, it will be Shiv Ashe. In that case, you have to make sure you land volley before you auto attack, otherwise your Shiv doesn't crit and you lose a lot of potential damage.
but it is good on Ashe because of that fact, because that you will get the stack Shiv crit every time that somebody is slowed by your passive ahead of time. I think even if you ulti them.
Yeah. Your ult applies it too.
Yeah. Setting up wards around the dragon, around these areas. Both these teams, they want to fight. They both have engagement tools. They both have team fight tools and poke tools. They're very, for all intents and purposes, they're very similar. It's just C9T have one extra tank versus one extra magic damage dealer on CLB's side.
You know, CLB is still trying to scale up. I mean, these guys do have a very scary team fight. Ashe Varus ult, Sejuani ult, and like Rumble just lays Nicholas down. They could keep C9T from moving for like literally 6 seconds.
They can pick somebody really hard. If somebody's out of position, they get Asheroed. Even if they could just get Chain of Corruption hooked, it's more than enough to lock up one person for enough time for everybody to collapse into them.
Double Marksman's definitely a lot of damage up, but as time goes on as well. Hard right now trying to get his durability up. You can see Solo.
Laud wants that wave bot. They're going to have to rotate for it. Try to deny it from this Jinx. Make everybody on C9T go the long way.
Ziggs is there for the ulti if they really need it, but right now Laud safe enough under his turret. There's the AoE clear. That's why, like Phantom Dancer, you just end up putting the wave more often than not, which makes the casters all die right away. Jinte using the shield as best he can.
They're trying to find a way in. They can't really find a way in just yet on CLB's side.
It's practically as good as Sivir Ziggs. It's going to be very difficult for CLB to do this. They may pull a Misfits and go for 4 Barons, but they're already behind this curve right now. Dragon so far not picked up yet for CLB. At this point in the game, it'd be a really big power spike for them because that extra attack damage means a lot on Varus especially.
Scar is really not hitting that hard just yet.
You know what's actually very impressive to me, though, is the fact that CLB are actually able to be the aggressor despite being down 3,000 gold. I keep forgetting which team I'm casting because CNT are technically winning via like every match you can look at, but CLB look like the team that's winning via the map position.
Yeah, they have the pressure at the moment. And the fact that Scar didn't get a blue buff and he's still applying this type of pressure,
it's impressive.
Is definitely impressive. It's something that I'm actually a little surprised by. As soon as he completes his last Whisper, he'll be able to do significant damage to Solo.
Yeah.
So even when he's landing those piercing arrows, despite the frozen heart, he'll still be in a good spot. Dragon is live though. Scar about half mana right now, and everybody on the opposite side of the map from CLB, they actually want to get the turret, but this is 4th Dragon for C9T.
Yeah, these are going down fast, and talk about how good wave clear is. How about 15% bonus damage when you knock down minions? Jungler not in range. There's no chance for a steal. Dragon 4 picked up. Fight has begun. Sheep is tanking, and Kenny goes down right at the start. Thinkcard misses the ulti, but Varus does not, so quite a couple of lockups here. 1 kill in for Lorlo, but C9T already winning this fight 2-1. Solo still on the chase, wants Skara, flashes, lands the W. They're going to land the zap as well. Nowhere for Skara to go. One more crit. Laud picks up the 3rd kill of the fight, and Cloud9 Tempest go maybe towards Barret.
Yeah, Laud is just so large right now. He just does so much damage in these team fights. And on that Jinx, it's so bad to get in any type of situation. The hook went wide from iCanEU. Sheep decides he wants to engage anyway. He eats the arrow from Frost, and that's a big tool used on a support.
And Even though Sheep died, he died bravely and for the help of his team. 7, 1, and 3 on Jinx. Laud was a great mid laner. He's certainly a great AD carry, and right now this Cloud9 Tempest pickup is looking pretty darn good. 5,000 gold lead, and again, they're up by everything.
Yeah, 100% kill participation for Laud. And you see right there, picks up the kill, walks around. He still wants to put pressure on Frost and Scar because he knows the front line is gone. The only front line on this team from CLG Black is pretty much that Thresh and that Sejuani. And when Sejuani is occupied with the enemy front line, you can just run straight at that backside.
Oh,
you got
it! What'd I say about Jinx ult hitting blue buff?
What?
It was Ashe ult hitting blue buff. But still, Laud is also hitting blue with his ultimate.
Some AD carries using global ultimates, they hit inhibitors, they hit, whatever, one of them stuns, one of them doesn't. Like,
Are you doing a Bill Cosby impression?
I'm doing an impression of you because you're silly. Silly.
Great.
But yeah, they both have global ultimates, and I understand that they get mixed up every now and then. But still, no Last Whisper on Scarra just yet. And you were talking about Laud having such a great performance.
Yeah.
And we talked about Cloud9 as an organization having great talent scouting in Challenger. 10 out of the 12 players that played in their
Cloud9
Tempest
team
and Eclipse squads have played in the LCS.
Yep. They found their way onto LCS teams.
And these players are players that were on the roster, the previous roster that was restricted from playing in Challenger until this season. They still kept the team. They didn't release the members. They said, we still want to try with this squad of players. We want all of these guys to come back and compete because we think this is the team, and they trust in their own talent scouting, and they said, no, there's no one better. These are the guys we want.
This is the team. We'll wait till summer, and we'll make it happen, and so far, C9T 4-0. 4-0?
Yep, they're 4-0 in the
4-0.
record. They are the only undefeated
I don't know why I forgot about numbers.
that started from the start.
Yeah, they're 4-0 so far in their run through the qualifiers. They're looking like it might be 5 right here as they sit 5,500 gold up. Another blue buff goes over to Jinte, who is just fine here. 007 on this 6. Doing Britain proud, and overall, Cloud9 Tempest can feel pretty good about this one as Laud keeps scaling up. 2 items on Jinx is enough to be a major threat, especially when your opponents just don't have any armor items. There are literally 0 armor purchases on CLB right now. Nothing's going to stop Jinx from killing everybody.
Yep. They got the Righteous Glory on Think Card. First item after his Cinder Hulk and the Sightstone to make sure that they can start these fights. But Righteous Glory is only really going to help your support your top laner. Righteous Glory is not going to help Scarra and Frost. It's for when you run away. It's not going to help them reposition.
No, it's not. And right now, oof.
That's a key poke target right there.
1/3 of Jinte's health for a Q. You can see Solo managed to stack armor early.
Man, that's even with Last Whisper.
Yeah, and I actually like how Solo's itemized here. He stopped going towards Righteous Glory. He stopped on the Catalyst and said, I need to have armor to survive this poke team. He even managed to get the sidestep onto the Spectre's Cowl to make sure he can handle Lorlo. But, you know, despite the fact that he bought an item that's like 3,000 gold and has no health or magic resist on it, is still holding up against Lorlo when they do fight. And they very rarely do.
Yeah, I love the build path that you can just sit on the Catalyst. You aren't rushed to go for the Rod of Ages. You still get that laning just sustain from it when you level up, and you can go into the Righteous Glory afterwards. He built it, and then Sheep is like, whoa, I'll finish my Righteous Glory first. Don't worry about this. We'll eventually have one. But it allows Solo, like you said, to adjust his build towards the armor to shut down Scarra and Frost and just have some magic resist in his pocket. So I really like this build because it gives him some very crucial stats, because just going straight for the Glacial Shroud and those types of stats is just you don't have HP, you don't like enhance your passive anymore. So I really like this build.
I also want to point something out actually, because I like tracking support GP10s. It's interesting. Over time, I've been really all about getting Talisman Ascension on supports. And I think in laning phase, I think Thresh has to go Relic Shield because the regen stats are too important and the tank stats are too important. But the fact that ICanEU has gone towards Face the Mountain, he's actually only earned like 200 gold off the GP10, like off the face charges, whereas Sheep, who stayed at tier 1, is actually at 470. So despite never upgrading, Sheep's earning more gold because it's like really hard for Thresh to get last hits with that item.
It's easier for sure.
I think he needed to switch over towards Talisman Ascension as like his major like gold generation support item earlier on in this game. I think the face won't give him very much, and I think he would be better off just getting the utility for his team to reposition here on CLB.
Possibly, yeah, because they're going to have people running straight at them with this Righteous Glory.
And I mean, it's a massive poke team all about positioning, and they don't have any move speed buffs on this team. And they have the Righteous Glory now, but...
Oh, he's trying to get the backline. He got it, but...
Age lands, Solo is stunned, but who cares if he stunned the tank? The backline damage doesn't matter for CLG Black, but it certainly does for Cloud9 Tempest. Lot is legendary already. Solo in the front lines, tanks up everything that he can. Actually, a couple kills come through for CLB, but it's not kills onto the Jinx. Lot flashes in. That's a mistake. Skara takes him down. CLG actually win the fight, and they've got control over Dragon.
That was the best damn ultimate from ThinkCard he could have gotten this game. Going past the front line and getting all the back line. Skara! Oh, no!
Man. Never mind on the Dragon take. There's just nothing to do here as Jinte keeps landing the poke. ThinkCard's got to be real careful.
Right into the bomb! You had it! Oh, man, the poke wars. ThinkCard still wants this, though. Here comes the TP from the backside, though. Lorlo's coming in.
Lorlo's going to kill them all. Jinte is going to try to sabotage, but he whiffs it, and Lorlo didn't even see it coming, so he's chasing Sheep, who's getting out of range.
Here comes their TP.
And now Solo's here. He's got something to fight as well. The fight overall with 3 for 3. Here's the aftermath as Lorlo has to run away from hard. Takes a lot of damage here. Solo will not lock him up. It looks like Cloud9 Tempest will be the ones to return to Dragon here.
They still salvage the situation despite losing their back line. Cloud9 Tempest able to basically contest this Dragon. It's the 5th Dragon for them at 31.5 minutes. You have to try something here if you're CLG Black.
You're right, it's already Dragon 5. I forgot how early it would be, but they got the first Dragon on the lane swap and kept the control on this one. C9T are all here. A few are injured.
Gotta try.
In. There's the Dragon picked up. It's number 5, and down goes ThinkCard. The next 3 minutes are all Cloud9 Tempests.
Cloud9 Tempest, if they needed anything to help them with that timer and the game being theirs, it's definitely the 5th Dragon. They already had a great foothold. This right here, ThinkCard to the back line, flashes over Solo, and then that zones out Jinte. He can't get back in. He tries to satchel over. He still takes a lot of damage. He's out of this fight. Can't really throw anything else in there. And that front line, those crits. But Sheep, oh boy, he's caught trying to get vision.
Spends a little bit too much time alone. The rest of C9T were backing, and it gives Catalogic Gaming Black a little bit more time then to maybe get something back on this game.
Yeah, when you have 5th Dragon, though, you take the Baron so quickly because you even multiply the minion and monster damage. But look at this, another pick!
They keep getting picked off their names. Cloud9 Tempest trying to run the sniper arrow. Frost finally lands one on a good target. He's stunned inhibitors and tanks all game long, and finally actually knocks down an important champion here. Saplings do a lot of damage when they apply the Dragon debuff, but it is still a 5 versus 3, now 5 versus 4 as Sheep respawns. CLG Black, what can they do with this numbers lead as they're missing a few ultis?
Yeah, you still can't even go for the Baron off of that. Oh, here comes the ulti.
There's the wave. Frost stays, though he will get it. Very smart by CLG Black. They've tied up the turret score, actually. We have not seen C9T able to engage much of anything. They've just played for Dragons, and the game is only 3,000 apart. This is not a massive gold lead. Dragons going to time out in a minute and a half, and we're back to where we were 3 minutes ago.
3,000 gold difference, same sieging here. That's the thing, though, is if you can wombo combo, pick somebody off, just like they did hard, or if you're CLG Black and you can use the Sejuani ultimate onto the back line, perfect ultimate there from Thinkard in that last fight, and layer with Lorlos, you change the whole landscape of the fight. Laud is basically the person you have to kill. Jinte, he's really hard to reach with this composition, but he's also somebody you don't even have to like kill him, you have to just get him out of the fight, and they did that perfectly last time.
Yeah, I think right now CLB needs to play the team fight a bit differently. The thing is, these guys are running double marksman. They've got a tank. Double marksman can break through Rek'Sai, Maokai over time. I think they could save the Sejuani and Ashe ults for halfway through the fight.
Kenny
forces a flash away. Solo almost in range of an engage, but can't quite land it. But I think CLB can actually play a more kite-based comp and rely on Ashe Varus DPS, because they're not really that far behind Jinx, oddly enough. A lot of damage. Frost has to flash out. I think he would have survived anyway, but still flashing away from the Jinx ulti.
I don't know, because it's Bloodthirster second, Bloodthirster IE,
Yeah.
level 15 Jinx. It would have been risky.
It would have hurt, but I would guess he would live, but either way, it doesn't matter too much. 600 damage plus some percent of missing health, 900 health Ashe. Close. Either way, he chooses the safe route and plays back. But again, we are seeing CLG Black, the team that wrest control of the map. We have not seen C9T get deep wards really at all. They've got a couple over some walls, but not a lot done here. Thinkard able to push down the mid lane just a little bit.
Yeah,
Skara poking to help him out.
You talked about pressure earlier, where CLB, despite being the team that's always down in gold, they still have all the pressure. And they're still doing it.
They still do. C9T had Dragon 5 and CLB still had pressure.
Oh, Skara's caught!
Okay, well, he's pressured and he's dead. Nice kill. Ashe arrow lands on a sheep. Ulti on top.
Oh, he's cooking! He's cooking!
Summoner heal keeps him alive. He pressed E, I'm not sure why. But it's okay. I think he fat-fingered when he wanted Righteous Glory.
He's trying to put out the flames. Splash some water on him.
I like it.
Splash some water, stomp him out.
Flames. Yeah,
they both work. It's doubly effective.
Play Vayne, just roll. Stop, drop, and roll.
I gotcha. He also had flash too, and he didn't panic flash. Speaking of panic flashing, though, Skara did. Oh, Kenny.
Kenny's gonna not have that anymore. Goodbye. C9T finally takes some initiative. They land 2 good engages in a row. Sheep being a hero in this one, or in the first one. This one was actually around the Maokai making good play, and they're going for Baron here. 36 minutes in.
TP available, but he's already there. Lorlo, no ultimate. Thinkard's just trying to ward.
He's trying to buy some time, but he gets hooked right on in, and Jinte jumps the wall to make this all happen. Solo is taking Baron by himself. Lodcom's gonna kill. 3-man ult by Thinkard, flashes the zap, and there will not be a Baron taken just yet. It's gonna regen, and CLB will be back to defend this. We're gonna try one more time, but...
More members here. Skara gets to poke ahead of time. Frost doesn't have the arrow.
The minefield, though.
Yeah, they have to walk through the minefield. Look at the damage. They just take
that's not gonna happen.
Carries down to 3-4.
Ashe engage clearly landed. That one will do enough damage. Ashe was much lower this time around. Skara only pokes down so much. Nice pickup, C9T.
Laud, so much damage. 12, 2, and 5. Still 100% kill participation. And they're gonna bait this. Oh, C9T with the dirty play. There's the Righteous Glory.
And they're gonna find Kenny. A good Varus will lock up the team, but doesn't even matter as they take down the CLG Black support. Jinte, last one to leave the scene of the crime, but Cloud and Tempest re-engage. Once again, they look for Baron, and Jinte is gonna play the zoning game.
Yeah, those explosive minefields last for so long. You keep people out. If they could get another kill here and another pick, C9T would be in an amazing situation. He's trying to cook them.
Ulti, Jinte a bit low on health. Baron still will get picked up. No smite used. Equalizer did not steal. Sheep takes some damage, but C9T is totally fine with Baron buff.
C9T, 7k gold advantage. We haven't seen them on CLG's side of the map for a very long time. Dragon 5 is up, and that's going to be CLB trying to take it, but they're going to lose a lot of their base. It's just going to be Kenny defending this.
Really keen choice here by C9T to realize they can push on in because they saw CLG Black going for Dragon. I think the Dragon's still a good pickup, but they're going to lose half an inhibitor for this one.
Turret goes down. Wave.
They're going to stay, and CLG Black will be here. They have Sedgel and Verisol if they can find and engage.
Nope.
C9T walk away in time.
Nope, you see Lorlo going straight to the bottom wave. They lose 3 turrets and an inhib off of that. Because of the threat of a Dragon 5, they had to answer. And the Baron as well. That accelerates 9k gold advantage to C9T from about 3,000 in just a matter of 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And all that money was right in the Cloud and Tempest pockets. Everyone recalled them like 2,000 to 2,500 gold down the line. They've all just spiked up big items now. Void Staff done for Jinte, Last Whisper, and Quicksilver Sash for Laud. If CLB remembers what last fight was like, this next one's going to be nothing like it.
Yeah, you got to pick some people off, but C9T are not letting that happen. They are grouping as 5 everywhere they go. Double cannon minions in this wave. Thinkard off on the side. He wants to get that back line.
Can you get the pick off? Equalizer lands a 3-man ulti. Laud QSS tries to run, but a lot of lockup from myKennyU. Verisol is here. Do they have the damage? Kenny goes down. This Thresh just too squishy. Jinxult hits Thinkard, but not for a lot of damage. Scar gets locked up as well. Laud finds another kill. Solo survives over the wall. A double kill. Jinx goes in, finds a third, looks for a fourth, and he gets it. Quadra kill for Laud and C9T to push into the base.
Laud, every time he's on this Jinx, he definitely delivers. 100% kill participation. Quadra kill at the end. They love playing around him, and it works every time.
Not only has he been part of 100% all the kills, 2/3 of the kills themselves are his. C9T, it was close for a while, but they had some great objective control and some even better team fights. 23-8, 40-minute game, and now Cloud9 Tempest are 1 win away from joining the North.